Good evening and hello. It's day 7 of my personal diary, video diary. It's the 23rd of September 2021. It's Thursday, so we are reaching the end of the week. I am already like in a weekend mode, to be honest. I can't wait because I have a actually two birthdays I can celebrate in my family, and um, yeah, I think I want to make progress in my personal space again because this is the second week where I like work again. I was on vacation before, and the first week after vacation was kind of okay. I think I was really happy with my productivity outside of work. This week, though, I'll start to notice it that yeah, it did slow down a little bit because essentially, like I'm yeah, I'm kind of out of big to-dos um, without like starting a really large to-do. For example, like I if I wanna like install the lighting right now, I have to like borrow the tools. I have to find out how it's done, and it's not just a task for one day, so to say. And whereas like getting the lighting or figuring out what light you want to have, this is something you could, in theory, do in one day. But yeah, those like doable tasks that are not like huge are getting less and less, fewer and fewer, and um, there are more like smaller tasks now. I think, um, although it doesn't feel like it. I think that's a problem. That's one of the problems right now. I still feel like I'm at the start of my movement process because I'm essentially having two empty rooms. Uh, um, but yeah, I can't do anything else just than other than like wait for the stuff to arrive. And yeah, it's a little bit tiresome. I want to like make myself comfortable in this in my own apartment, but yeah, I I don't really know what to do during the weekdays because like when you are finishing your work in the late afternoon, there's just I think no time to do a big task. Um, but I realize that's like half of an excuse, and I have to do it at some point. I mean I have to install the lighting at some point. Um, yeah, but my hope is that I will get to do a little bit more than more on the weekend than in the weekdays. Speaking of how productive was my day, I think I'm not too unhappy with the things I did today. There were like a couple of smaller, like not even noticeable things or not even mentionable things. Like a good friend of mine came by and took some stuff that he owns actually with him that I borrowed because he needed it back. So my living room just got a little bit emptier, which is right now a good thing because it's really messed up. Um, I um, I brought away some um, trash, some paper trash, some cartonages, I think is the word, which was just like laying around in the living room. So um, yeah, my living room is slowly but surely getting emptier, which is a good sign. And on top of that, I finally finished my fridge. Like I cleaned the last part. I put it into the fridge, so the fridge is 100% done, which is a good thing. I also had like um, some Tupperware, I guess. I think it's this is also a word in English. Let me check it. Nope, nope. Uh, Essentially I think luggage. No. Um, Things where you can put your food in and carry it with yourself. Um, I had a couple of those, and they were uncleaned and just laying around, so I cleaned them now and I let them dry overnight. And tomorrow morning I can just store it in my kitchen at some place where I don't see them every day. So yeah, little, really little small steps right now on that front. On the other front, regarding productivity, I mentioned it yesterday. I also took some smaller steps, I guess. So I like looked if there is a desktop app for the Google Calendar. It seems that it's not. At least I didn't find one, but I bookmarked it now, and I'll intend to use it more often. Um, and I'm sure I will. I'm sort of a bookmark power user. I'll open I open my browser and I'm normally too like um too lazy to just type stuff. And whenever I just open the browser mindlessly, because I'm bored, I tend to click on bookmarks. When I always see the calendar and the Gmail, so my mail and my calendar, I think I'll tend to click it off more often, and therefore also use it more often. Um, I also like watched a couple of Google Drive tips and best practices and tutorials, and there were one or two cool things I'll keep in mind, but most of the things weren't that um, revolutionary for me. Like still I'm still having a little small question mark in regards to how I want to structure my files, but I guess that's just Google Drive in the end. I mean, you can just put a bunch of files in your Google Drive, or you can like structure them really meticulously. Um, and I think I'm one of the persons who likes to work with folders and structure it a little bit too much rather than a little bit too less. Um, but I still don't know 100% how I want to structure it really, because I think that's maybe that comes also from my job, but I'll tend to take a lot of time thinking about those things, because once you have the structure, it's really tedious to restructure it basically. Yeah. So I have to come up with something that works. And you have to keep in mind that at some point you want to maybe delete files. You have files from like 5 years ago. How you want to like capture that? I'll I like lean towards using something like a thematic distinction. Something, for example, like um, receipts. Um, that's basically one thing I wanted to store in my Google Drive. Like just take a photo of every receipt you get that of a product that is maybe like more than 200 euros, and store it in your drive. Um, but then I want to see like in which year I got it, right? So you could do something like receipts at the top level, and then below that 2021, 2022, 2020, etc. Um, yeah, that would be one idea. But as I said, I've not yet decided it. I started with, I guess, um, with downloading the Google Drive app for my mobile phone. I haven't done it yet, but I will do that um, today still. Um, yeah, and just maybe fiddle around it a little bit more, like upload one or two files, see how is it going, how fast can I, for example, take a photo and upload it to Google Drive, and maybe I'll figure a good way out while I'm working with it, hopefully. Yeah, for tomorrow, well, I I was thinking about that before I like started recording, but I forgot it now. Huh? Oh yeah, uh, yeah. Actually, yeah. Okay. My goal was to like do this thing with the receipts. So maybe I'll just start with one folder receipts and put in the receipts there as a first step. Um, yeah. And then I can hopefully throw away all those paper copies, you know. And the goal would be to like do that with everything I can and what I get as a paper copy, because I don't want to like have receipts from 3 years ago flying around anymore. I think we're we should be past that. And then the new question, like when I order something purely online and I have an online receipt, I would also have to store that so I get photos together with receipt, like with I don't even know. Can you store mails in Google Drive? Th Those kind of questions. I wanna answer that tomorrow. Actually, use Google Drive for once. Um, and what was the other part I wanted to do tomorrow? Ah, yeah. I actually have no like tasks regarding my apartment for tomorrow. Consciously, that was a conscious decision. Um, but I want to like spend some time tomorrow really like searching for a good healthy product and actually cooking it, because I think I said it already once in my videos that I'm not eating healthy right now, not at all. Um, and I think that's partly understandable because it's a very tr stressful um, time right now. But honestly, I'll miss like having a real tasty but healthy food, like eating the whole, like the same 3 meals for the past 3 weeks is not really satisfying anymore. So yeah, I want to spend some time on my health, so to say, and get the groceries and actually cook properly tomorrow. Man, those kinds of experiences I think you have to make once in your life and never do it again. The next time I move, I make sure that I have a like I'll order everything ahead of time, because it really doesn't feel great. Like, I mean, in ge in general, moving feels weird, I guess, because you're in this transitory state, and then you have to wait like 10 weeks for your couch. And I've people told me that I have to pre-order that, but yeah, those are those kinds of experiences that I like you have to suffer that once, and then you know the next time. Hopefully, this is this is an experience I'll never do again in my life because yeah, honestly, it's I didn't really mind it like the first days, but having no interior, like having no um like only having a desk in your apartment feels very weird very fast. Like before the movement, I was imagining like I can like I can happily survive with this state like for weeks, for a month, no problem. When I heard that I have to wait for 10 weeks for my for my for my couch, I was like, fine. I mean, give me a computer, give me give me a desk, and I'm happy. I'm a happy person. But I think what makes it so stressful is that you have like an unfinished work in your apartment. Like it feels like there is another room that is completely messed and that you have to tidy up at some point. And I mean, I think when I have everything decorated, I won't even be using this room too much. Like I'm still mainly sitting here, but like it just feels unfinished. That's why I think it's a little bit frustrating right now. And you want to do things, but you can't because you have to just to wait. Then you like always look at what you can still do like before the couch comes. But yeah, apart from like those really big tasks like installing a lighting, like a lamp, where you have actually no tools for, yeah, I'm repeating myself, and there's I see the 17 minutes, so I'm gonna stop it right here. Um, Overall, it was a good day, so I shouldn't feel too bad. But my hopes are that I'll get, yeah, maybe the proper lighting will help a lot because then at least this room feels more like a not like a jail, but actually like a proper room. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go to bed straight up, I think, and hear from myself tomorrow.